Something absolutely massive is being built on the coast of Peru. We're talking about a project so big it's set to completely change how things move around the globe. It's a huge new port that's creating a direct superhighway for ships between South America and Asia. So let's get into it.
And you know it's a big deal because of its nickname. People are already calling it the Shanghai of South America. That is a seriously bold claim, right? It tells you this isn't just another port. The ambition here is to become the main economic powerhouse for the whole continent.
Now, to really get what we're talking about with Chancay, you have to understand this term megaport. This isn't just about being big. It means it's an incredibly deep port specifically built to handle the absolute biggest cargo ships in the world, the ones most other ports can't even dream of docking, and it's designed to process a truly insane amount of trade.
All right, so what exactly is the Chancay port? Well, it's this brand new terminal set to open in November 2024, located about 80 kilometers or 50 miles north of Lima, the capital of Peru. And its number one job, to create a direct, super efficient shipping route straight across the Pacific to Asia.
But look, its size is only part of the story. The real game changer here is the tech. This thing is being called a smart megaport, and for good reason. Let's take a look at what's going on inside and see how it's completely rewriting the rules.
First up, let's talk about depth, 17.8 meters. Now that number might not sound like a lot, but in the shipping world, it's a huge deal. That kind of deep water draft means Chancay can welcome the world's absolute biggest container ships. We're talking behemoths that can carry 24,000 containers in one go. Very, very few ports in South America can do that.
And then there's the impact on speed. This is where it gets really crazy. Before, shipping something from South America to China would take you anywhere from 35, maybe even 40 days. With Chancay, that entire journey gets slashed to just 23 days. That's not just a little better, it's a total revolution for logistics across the Pacific.
And when you create a faster, more direct route, what happens? The cost drops. A lot. Ships don't have to take the long way around, going north through the Panama Canal or stopping at ports in North America. The result is an estimated 20% cut in logistics costs. That is a massive saving that makes everything coming out of South America way more competitive.
And if all that wasn't enough, it's also the continent's very first smart port. So you've got automated cranes doing the heavy lifting, 5G everywhere, and unmanned electric vehicles just zipping around moving containers. And maybe the coolest part? There's a 1.8-kilometer underground tunnel that connects the port directly to the highway. It's a genius move to make sure the local city doesn't get completely swamped with truck traffic. So you can see this port is a huge deal for shipping, but its impact, well, it goes way beyond just the docks themselves. We're seeing a ripple effect that is literally redrawing the economic map for all of South America.
And to really get the bigger picture, you gotta follow the money. Who actually owns this thing? Well, it's a private terminal, and the majority owner, with a 60% stake, is COSCO Shipping, which is a Chinese state-owned company. The other 40% is held by a Peruvian mining company called Vulcan.
Just think about how different this is. Before Chancay, if you were shipping from, say, Chile or Ecuador, your cargo often had to get sent way up north just to be transferred to another ship. It was slow and expensive. But now, Chancay flips that script. It becomes the one central hub for the whole region, serving everyone from Peru to Chile to Colombia and Ecuador.
And for Peru itself, the economic numbers here are just staggering. The port is projected to bring in about $4.5 billion in revenue every single year. And on top of that, it's expected to create thousands and thousands of jobs, both at the port and in related industries. It's a massive economic engine. Okay, but let's be real. A project this huge is never just about economics. It's never just about containers and cranes. There's always a bigger game being played, a global, geopolitical one. So let's zoom out and see how this one port fits into a much bigger strategic picture.
You see, this port isn't just some isolated project. It's a critical piece of a much larger puzzle, China's Belt and Road Initiative. That's their huge global strategy to build trade routes and infrastructure connecting China with the rest of the world. And Chancay? It's the new star player for that initiative in South America.
And that connection is what leads to the big question that people and governments all over the world are asking. Is this port just a commercial hub designed to make trade easier? Or could it be something more?
This has definitely raised some eyebrows, especially in the United States. And the concerns really boil down to two big things. First, China's economic and political influence is growing really fast in the Western Hemisphere. And second, there's a potential for a dual-use port,
one that could, in theory, be used for both commercial ships and military ones down the road.
So when you put it all together, here's the bottom line. This isn't just a port. We are watching a single piece of infrastructure do multiple things at once. It's redrawing trade maps, it's reshaping entire regional economies, and it's becoming a major new piece on the chessboard of power and influence in the Pacific.
And that really leaves us with one final big question to think about.
Is the port of Chancay a fantastic new bridge across the Pacific, one that's going to bring prosperity and connect people, or does it represent a new line in the sand in the great strategic competition of our time?